Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. I'm sorry this is 2 days late. I could have had this to you on Friday, but I didn't because I had to work Friday and Saturday. So I finally have time to sit down this morning and play around with the Kubota Tractor Pack. This is a DLC that's going to be released on Tuesday. We're going to take a look at everything that it comes with so you can decide whether you want to spend your money on it or not. I'm already sold. I've told you guys for years that I want a Kubota in the game. If I hadn't gotten this, I get this from Giants so I can, give you guys pre-release video. But I would have bought it anyway. And like I've said, previous DLCs, I have to buy a copy for my wife anyway so she can play along with it. This offers one new thing to the game that's really cool. And then it also has a bunch of cool stuff, just that are already in the game, but adding a new brand. So let's talk about that. Here we have the, I guess the surprise, for me at least, was the fact that they didn't include, so there's a patch that came out, and I thought with that patch, for everybody, they'll get the ability to ride multiplayer. Something that's been missing from the game, unless you have certain mods, was the ability to actually hop into a tractor with your friend or into a pickup truck or into one of these vehicles and ride around together. Now, the new thing that they're adding with this DLC is the ability to do that. However, if you don't have this DLC, you will not, according to their website, be able to ride around together. So it is part of the DLC. Now, I was under the impression that everybody would have access to that, but apparently the answer is no. Only people that have the DLC can ride around together. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I don't know if that means that only the Kubota equipment. It said the Kubota equipment and some other vehicles will have the ability to be driven together. Why is that a big deal? Well, in real life on a farm, when it's lunchtime, you run out and you pick up your mates and you come back in and you do lunch and then you head back out again and drop them off. From a farm manager perspective, for me, that would be excellent because I can have people ride around with me. I can take them to their equipment. So when we're doing multiplayer, I think that this is going to be integral to what we're doing. So I think that that's a neat feature. But anyway, let's take a look at the equipment because that is, once again, some people are going to be upset about that. I think it's a cool feature, but it is a little bit weird that they didn't allow everybody to do it. But I get it now. It's definitely the new thing that's in the game. So what do we have here? We have two different versions, and there's only one available, obviously, but we have this Kubota RTV. You can configure it into several different options. The first is to have a bull bar. The second is to have a bull bar with a winch that's non-functional, but it's cool looking. And the third is to have no bull bar at all. And then you can have this in two configurations. You can have it with the 4 seats and a small back, or you can have a larger back that holds 1,000 units and more room to carry stuff around, and then the seats are folded, so you can only take one person with you because those back seats are folded up. And the top speed of this thing is 24 miles per hour. Then we move on to the next RTV, which is a little bit more robust as far as speed goes. This goes 40 miles an hour, and so we have a little bit better speed with these. You can see around the back here, the back is still a little bit smaller, more to the size of our first. No, it's bigger than that, about halfway in between. So 33 liters, is that 30 liters? Oh, that's how much gas it has. Duh. This is a 4x4, by the way. Not that matters in the game because they really don't model that. So then the next thing that we have a pair of Kubota skid steers. And you do see these quite a bit in the U.S. Being used on construction sites and stuff. So I think it's cool that we have these. This is obviously the forestry edition, and this is the regular edition. I like this one because it comes with something that I haven't seen yet on any other skid steers. Not that I play with skid steers a lot. This one has additional weights that you can add to the back. Now, if you've ever tried to have a skid steer and loading larger pallets with it, or some of these like liquid pallets, sometimes they're too heavy. But with this, you can put these weights on the back, and that'll help quite a bit for you to be able to lift heavier objects with the weights on the back. So I think that that's neat that we can add those on. It doesn't come with them stock, but you can add them. So that's pretty neat. Next on our list, we have this Kubota front loader. The R60, same as the Kloss front loader that we have. This will take a standard tractor implement, and you can load, put a front loader tool on the front. So anyway, this is basically the same thing as the Kloss front loader. It is articulated, so it's a little bit awkward loading things. I prefer the lift truck, honestly, or the forklift. But this can also do bales and logging. It's, any attachment that the tractor can take, this can take. So that's kind of cool. Next up, we have a Little Orchard tractor, the M5. I do see these on work crews and stuff like that, road crews for cities. They use them as like road mowers, but you can also use it for orchard work. Kind of an ugly tractor for sure. But all the orchard tractors are weird looking. This one doesn't have a lot of options, and sadly, this one also does not have a 3-point hitch on the front. So you can only have it with weights on the front and a hitch on the back. So to me, that kind of limits it a little bit, because with some of the other ones, like the Antonio Carreras or even the Landini and the Fendt, those have 3-point hitches on the front of them. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Next tractor up, we have the M6 101, or the M6 series tractor. And that runs from 100 horsepower and 95 horsepower, I think, up to about 138, 140 horsepower. So you got a nice range there and a small tractor. And we'll hop inside and take a look at the cabin on this one. Hear that engine purr. Got the lights on the front, lights on the back, and the full work light suite. This tractor has a couple different abilities here, and I've given you two different options so you can see. You can have a Kubota. Oh, and they have Kubota front loaders too. Let's take a look at those arms real quick so you guys can see that there are some matching Kubota front loader arms right there for the M77 and the LA 225. Or 2255, I'm sorry. This one's compatible with, I didn't mean to double click that. This one's compatible with the M6 series, and it shows you all the attachments that it works with, obviously. And then this one is for the M8 series, which is funny because the M7 also takes Kubota hitch, but you can use all of them, but you can also use the Kubota one. I think you probably use the one for the M8 on these. We could try them out. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that they could take arms or no. Well, this one actually has the arm kit on there too. This one's got a 3-point hitch. This one's set up like a US tractor with a weight on the front, so you can get it either way. Double tires on all of these tractors. And once again, like I said, that engine purrs real nice. Yeah, meow. Pricing on the tractors does not make them attractive. Honestly, they're kind of in between. So they're not a great deal, but they're not super expensive either. I thought they would be like on the budget end, but they're not. There are tractors out there with more horsepower that cost less. So keep that in mind. Here we have the M7 132. These go from 128, I think, up to 168. Different motor for sure. Bigger, heavier sound. Dude. Different interior. Non-functional gauges, headlights. Once again, full load of work lights. This one has the strobe beacons on it. The smaller tractor does not have strobe beacons. And once again, you can put the arms on it. I've shown you a couple different wheel choices here. And we also have the American setup and the Euro setup with the 3-point hitch. On this tractor, you can have, on this one, you can either have warning signs on the back or not have them. So those are your choices.
Stop swearing.
And last but not least, we have the star of the show. We have 180 to 200 horsepower variants of the M8, which is their Kubota's new tractor. Probably the reason why they decided to come into Farm Sim finally was because they have released a big tractor. And this will, most small to medium farms, this will satisfy. That is a big tractor. It's got the cool rear signals, I guess you'd call them, that stick out. And then if you get the single wheel version that puts them up like that. I haven't found a control that lets you raise or lower them, though. They're kind of fixed. So just depending on what wheels you have is where they'll go. But they are there, and they do flash. I'll show you that happening. So this is a cool tractor. It's going to have a different sound. Let's hop in and hear it. Deeper resonance. Got the lights on. Got the hazards on. I know if you're on Xbox, you won't be able to get those working unless you assign them to a control. For those of you that are PC users, once again, it is the num lock and then the number 2. There's all of our beacons on. Once again, inside the cab, we have non-functional screens. Different light setups, hazards, clicking away. Yeah, so nice tractor. I could definitely see using this on the farm. For me, this is an exciting pack. We've been waiting to me a really long time, for years and years, to get Kubota into the game. I was a little disappointed that we don't have any of their small tractors. I live in Ojai, and here in Ohio, we have a lot of orchards, some vineyards, and definitely a lot of like animal farms, horse farms, that kind of stuff. And a vast majority of those facilities use sub 100 horsepower Kubota tractors. They have Mahindra and Kubota. And for the bigger farms where they're doing field work, you'll see John Deere and Case, New Holland, a lot of older tractors, older Case tractors, white, trying to think of who else. Case back when their tractors were white and orange. So we don't see a lot of big Kubotas like we have here. I've never seen an M6, M7, or M8 anywhere in my travels around Ohio. But I've seen a lot of sub 100 horsepower Kubotas doing lawn work, doing shoveling work, like they use them as a scooper. They use the front, like as a front loader, basically. We see those a lot. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't include any kind of front loader type situations with small Kubotas. But then again, this game really is designed more towards the 100+ horsepower tractor category. Small tractors still aren't a big thing in this game, though they've gotten a little bit better. Antonio Carrero kind of changed that, and once that pack came out, they released a bunch of small equipment. So we could have had some small Kubota tractors, but they just didn't give them to us. So once again, that is a slight disappointment to me. But this pack still is really cool. I will probably, in my series and just in general, be using these vehicles on many of my farms because they have a lot of cool different options. And I like the Kubota brand. I think it's I love the color, and I think it's just a cool looking tractor, or tractor series. And it's kind of neat to be able to have a bunch of tractors from Kubota because, once again, here in Ojai, we do see a lot of Kubota equipment. There's a lot of farms have them, so it makes me feel a little bit like I'm at home, and a very American thing. Now, the irony is I'm probably going to use these in my European series, but that's the only one I'm running right now that has a small farm. So, but I'm also looking forward to being able to add this to our multiplayer server when we restart that. Because then we'll be able to ride around together in vehicles, and that's something that's been sorely missed. So anyway, I will see you guys in whatever episode I do next for whatever series. But in the meantime, enjoy this video, guys. And I, once again, think that it's $12 is not a bad price for this. But I know there's some of you out there that are like, well, it doesn't really add anything new, and I get that too. So for me, it's worth it. For you, it may not be, but I think that it is worth it. So, all right, guys, see you next time. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Monday when we do our SnowRunner stream. Bye.